Here we'll cover where you can find opportunities which you may not otherwise find. And I think there's really a couple main categories, which is one, which Manish Prabhai talks about, which is the hated and unloved. What is hated and unloved? So he's mentioned in quite a few instances he loves Turkey for this very reason. Even though there is massive hyperinflation, everything has been thrown out. Everything. He says everyone and their brother has left the country in terms of an investment perspective. This is something I think he's found beneficial, as he's found ways to trade or ways to invest which aren't directly affected by the currency, and has benefited massively from this. Another one is coal. With the change to sustainable energy, coal has become massively hated and unloved. Very difficult to find land in, and also very difficult from an investment perspective. But this has led to businesses which have traded at P ratios of 2 to 3 times earnings even, and some of these businesses unjustly so, especially when you get into the nuances such as metallurgical coal, which is a type of coal which is essentially needed to develop and expand cities and isn't going to be economically replaceable anytime soon. There is thermal coal which is somewhat replaceable. However, if you look at the nuances, there are details which can be found if you do the right digging and if you are inclined to do so. However, you would need to be an independent thinker and not simply just follow the crowd. Another source can often be from businesses which you know on a very personal basis that you use on a daily basis, is what I mean. So for example, this is particularly beneficial if you're in a younger demographic where you can see certain trends upcoming. So like Manish Prabhai mentions, and this is from my experience as well, that younger people, sort of like the university college campuses, they found like Chick-fil-A first. They found they were the first ones to start wearing Nike and stuff like that. But even just in your daily life, I'm sure you'll have a much greater insight into the business from using it from an actual customer's perspective as well. I think another one is makeup brands or any female product brands, which, when you consider that most of the capital being allocated is done by the average 6-year-old white male, this can give you an advantage in a sense that there are certain things that culturally people may not understand, or just because of their gender they may not understand. Like, I don't really know too much on makeup, but if you do know the makeup industry, you can have a large advantage there. Culturally you may have an advantage there, just age as well, because of the lack of information essentially, and knowledge. But this can also, I think, even though it's not necessarily in your circle of competence currently, it can be trained through the likes of social media and sort of looking through interactions and really understanding the brand on a high level, speaking to people who are quite knowledgeable, who are customers, who are sort of dealing with the processing of the products, whether that's at retail or whether that's sort of like a salesperson or something of that nature. That can give you a lot of insight and sort of develop that competence in that area, and there's where opportunity can often be found.